Hey guys, part two of these 10 leadership principles from the book Visioneering by Andy Stanley. Gave the first 5 in this first video. Now I'm going to give you the last 5. Opposition, number 6. Opposition is evidence of movement. The fact that something is opposing you when you're doing God's work or you're leading your life with God's purpose and you find opposition, it's a good indication that you are moving forward. As Nehemiah moved forward, criticism and resistance increased. You're going to face resistance. You're going to have opposition. You're going to have critics. And that needs to guide you to say, I'm on the right track. Every meaningful vision will face opposition. Every meaningful vision in your life, it's going to face some type of resistance. So some practical questions. How do I normally respond to criticism? That question alone can help you further develop your leadership skill and insight. Is take note of how you respond to the different kinds of criticism in your life. Have I allowed discouragement to stop my progress? Been there. I have stalled at times in my leading because of discouragement. God is developing. If you find that to be true, God is increasing your ability to persevere, to be resilient. He is strengthening. He's developing you in this area. What opposition might actually confirm I am moving in the right direction? And who speaks life and wisdom into me during difficult seasons? This is going to be so key and so important. You got to have the right kind of people around you, and it will be a small few people who you know are not judging you, they're not criticizing you, but they're there to encourage you and support you. Even when they see maybe your weaknesses, weak areas in your life, they're not there to judge you or make you feel insignificant or trying to find something on you to make them feel better because they see flaws in you. You will have a small group of people in your life who will genuinely care for you, love you, and want to see you succeed and will promote you and push you on. Number 7, leaders build teams, not just dreams. Nehemiah involved families, he involved workers, leaders, and citizens in the rebuilding of the wall. He involved these teams, not just fulfilling a dream, but he involved people around him that were actually being developed as well. Sustainable vision always requires teamwork. So here's some questions. Am I trying to accomplish everything alone? If you're the Lone Ranger, I'm telling you, Lone Rangers are not part of the kingdom of God. Even Jesus, the first thing he does is select 12 people to come alongside of him. He's always about relationships. There are no superheroes in the kingdom of God. There's people who build people. So are you trying to accomplish everything on your own? And how well do I empower and encourage others? Do people feel valued when serving alongside of me? Do they know that you care for them, that you're here for them, that you love working with them? And what strengths in others am I overlooking? Many times we get frustrated with people that we're working with because we see where they need to develop. But can you recognize where they bring value to the team in the kingdom of God? I'm telling you, this is a key thing. If you can start seeing the value that they bring, don't look at their frustrations. You can help them. I mean, that's part of your job, is to help people develop. But it has to be even more so on the other side of, man, this person, they're weak in this area, but man, they bring so much value to this team because of these different qualities in their life that God has given them. Number 8, leaders must guard their integrity. Nehemiah refused corruption, manipulation, and selfish gain. Refused it. And character sustains what gifting creates. Giftings and skills, especially people that are in the spotlight, people value that, they see that, they highlight that, and this is not healthy, but sometimes they even worship it, and that's wrong. But if we're not careful, those things can go to someone's head. But character begins to bring humility, and it will begin to, true character will sustain the gifting that God has placed in you. A lack of character will crush it will destroy it. You can have all the potential in the world and be the most talented person in the room, but the lack of character will destroy everything that could be possibly good, that could good come out of that skill set. So here's some reflective questions. What private habits strengthen or weaken my integrity? What private habits do we have in our life that are actually either strengthening or they're weakening your character and your integrity? Would people trust my character if they saw my private life? If people saw my private life, would they trust my character? Have I compromised convictions for approval or success? And what boundaries help protect my integrity? Number 9, discouragement must be managed. The people rebuilding the wall became exhausted and overwhelmed, yet Nehemiah refocused them on the mission. A true leader will not give in to the fears, will not give in to the discouragement, but a true leader will manage that discouragement and inspire others to refocus themselves on what is the purpose. What are we doing this for? To refocus the team. Leaders must learn how to encourage themselves and others during adversity and opposition and setbacks and discouragement. Leaders have to develop that skill set. Here's some questions. What causes me to lose motivation most quickly? What discourages you? You need to know this. You need to know what will the enemy use to discourage you and take the life out of you, or take the wind out of your sails. You need to know what it is, because then you can create a strategy to overcome that. How do I spiritually and emotionally recharge? You need to find some time to recharge. I'm away right now. We do this every year, twice a year, where we take some time to recharge. 2 different ways that we do this. We do it with family, and then we also do it in a more spiritual and strategic context of seeking God. But you need to find out, how do you emotionally recharge? But I can't wait for 2 times a year. I have to learn how to put this in a weekly routine, and sometimes even daily, of what will emotionally recharge me on a consistent basis. You need to know what motivates you to recharge and put that into a habit and into a routine. What truths help me stay focused during difficult seasons? And then, am I spreading fear or faith to those around me? Man, that's just so important, that you need to know that your words, the things that you speak, the things that you comment on, the things that you have opinions about, your opinions and your comments, and letting your emotions out as you form those words. You need to think about the impact of that. How is it not only impacting you, but how is it impacting the people around you that you're leading? And then number 10, lastly, vision is ultimately about transformation. Vision is ultimately about transformation. Don't miss this. The rebuilt walls represented more than construction. It was more than construction. They restored their identity. This is what Nehemiah knew. He says, this wall is not about just a wall. It's about the identity of Israel. It's about the identity of people. It's about security. Most importantly, it's about worship. Like, God needs to get glory out of this. And it was about hope. Their success of rebuilding the wall spread hope to an entire nation. So think about these questions. How is my leadership helping people grow spiritually and personally? What about you? How is God using you to grow others around you? What's inspiring them out of your life? And what legacy do I want my life to leave behind me? What do I want my kids, my grandkids, the people that I'm leading, what do I want them to remember about me? What would inspire, what out of my life and my leadership would inspire them to accomplish even more than what I've been able to accomplish? And are people becoming healthier? Are they becoming stronger, more hopeful because of my influence? Am I developing people's hope, their faith? Are they becoming stronger, believing, dreaming? Are they hoping for more, believing for the best because of my influence in their life? And how can I use my gifts to help rebuild people, not just projects? Projects and buildings, walls, cities, they're going to deteriorate one day. But you know what's going to leave a legacy is, what principles have I taught them? How did I teach them to depend on God? So here's what I want to close with. Nehemiah teaches that leadership is not merely about position. It's about courage, prayer, perseverance, and obedience. It's not about just the burden. It's not about the position. It's about this courage and prayer and perseverance and obedience. God often places a vision inside of ordinary people who are willing to trust Him and serve others faithfully. So I just want to leave you with this as you've been studying and reading on visioneering. And my prayer is that God is developing you as a leader and as a person, mom and dad, grandparent, Christ follower, where you're going to be a person of great vision. You're going to be able to see what God sees. He's opening your eyes. So what wall has God placed me to rebuild? Think about that. You have a wall. What wall has God placed around you that He wants you to rebuild? What relationship? What people does He want you to develop? And what step of obedience do I need to take today? What do you need to do today to help create and be a person of vision? And what kind of leader am I becoming while pursuing the vision? That's the most important question, guys. What are you becoming as you're pursuing vision? What are you becoming as you're pursuing God's purpose and call in your life? It's the most important question that God is more concerned about anything. Not about what you can accomplish in life, but who are you becoming in this life? Hey, I am so grateful for every one of you guys. I've been praying over you as I'm reading through this book. I'm praying over every one of you in the class. Great job on your reflection questions or your reflection papers. You did a great job. Again, just a reminder, don't do the reflection paper until after our Monday class that's coming up in a couple of weeks, because I think you're going to get, again, more insight out of that. It's going to add to your reflection paper. Hey, I appreciate you, love you, and I'm believing God's best for you, and you are becoming a great leader for God's kingdom.